This one's for fiscal philosophy. Shout out Fiscal, but not the lady boys. I don't tote that. Where does Danny get his money? I love to eat honey. Where does Danny get his money? I love to eat honey. Where does Danny get his money? I love to eat honey. Where does Danny get his money? I love to eat honey. Sliding through the back streets, yeah, I know I'm cold as hell. My 3 socks to buy videos never take no L. Shoeshiner's a scammer, he belongs in a cell. Dan versus Double D's, I wish them both well. I get no bitches, so I lift to the max. I make my own money and I evade my own tax. And I like my bitches and I like their bottoms waxed. I get money and it's never always taxed. Yo, they selling dreams like Wall Street Kings, but behind the cameras, they pulling them strings. On YouTube screens with them fancy schemes, claims of riches, but it's not what it seems. Front like they gurus with insider tips. Talk quick, slick while the naive slips. On X they flex, charting fake checks. Tricking the masses, catching them checks. Expose the lies and treated as guys as good thing lies of chasing the highs with calm.
I just exploded.
Hi, you Dividend Warriors. Welcome back to Saturday Night Live.
The reason we know how to use margin because we know how to use margin. Because you don't know how to use margin, well, don't put it on us. Don't even ask us questions.
Oh, I have a problem on my YouTube channel.
At least I got some allies here.
Brother,
Ryan, why don't you pull up Amazon's margin real quick?
well,
We have to have you.
Is that somebody's vibrator going off? What is that?
Nap erosion, cap erosion. Who give a flying fuck about that shit?
Why do they gotta be haters for everything?
Hello, everybody. It's Saturday. It's 8 p.m. East or 7:10 p.m. Eastern. A little bit of an early show tonight. It's Saturday 7:10 p.m. Eastern. You could be doing a lot of things, and earlier in the night, there is in the future of the night. I don't know. I think it could be even. I don't know, but what words would you use to describe earlier in the night, Fiscal? Maybe a little more tame, you could say.
PG.
I like PG, and as we hit this era of monetization, I think that's what you should be expecting from us going forward. So if it's not Saturday past 9 p.m. Eastern, 8:45 maybe on a lucky night, I wouldn't expect a whole much. But welcome back, everybody. It's Saturday, 7:10 p.m. Eastern. Going a little earlier because the WWE Men's Royal Rumble is tonight. How could you possibly be missing that? That's one of those things where, you got to kind of put the foot down. But we also do have a very fun segment after today's show. So expect a bit of a shorter episode. We're going to, of course, talk about everything this week. Starbucks is a quality compounder again. High Tide took a dump. Evolution took a dump. Did Fiscal buy any? We'll talk about that. And at the end, we're going to be doing a members-only gambling stream with Seymour Duck. We're going to be playing some blackjack, and I'm looking forward to it heavily. So we're going to be giving him some gambling tips and gambling advice. We're going to win a lot of money. And if I heard if we get past the $100 threshold and we 10x our profits, then he'll be giving it to us. So appreciate that all. But of course, this had to happen. Seymour Duck did gift a channel membership, and that was gifted to well-known Cashflow Kings viewer, who also did make an appearance on Twitter this week, Dex. So as per usual, when somebody, I regret this, but every time there is a new member added to the channel or somebody becomes a member, membership gifted, we have to do it. We are going to dance. All right, you ready, Fiscal? Start off the night strong. That's enough. All right. Welcome back, everybody. Wow. We no longer a channel member. We tire on dividends. Welcome in. Assalamu alaikum. Well said. I think it's without further ado, we'll let our new guest in who, after watching the Royal Rumble tonight, he will be buying TKO stock. It is none other than Seymour Duck. Seymour, we thought you died last week.
Hello. Oh no, this duck is safe. I didn't die. I didn't get
That's
shot.
good. We were worried. We had multiple. We were coming up with different conspiracies. Fiscal said that the Oracle got you. I said you got into a car crash. Multiple bad things.
No, I'm fine. I actually just slept in. That's it.
We'd rather have you sleep. We
classic.
respect it.
He got
Yeah.
too tired from doing those things you do Saturdays, 8 p.m. Eastern, and just passed out.
Yep. He was snorting snow potentially. He could have been at the online casinos. You could have been flirting with one of the blackjack dealers. Bad things you could be doing at Saturday, 8 p.m. Eastern. But Seymour, it's been an eventful week to say the least. I think we start off with the topic of the night, evolution. Evolution went on a 6 or 7% dip this week, back to 75.
Yep.
Yeah, but then it went back up again. So in the end, did it really matter, the dip?
Fiscal did it. Did you buy?
I bought it when it went down to 75.
Oh, let's go, because I did too.
I did too.
There we go. Yeah, there we got the Fiscal kind of position are we looking at now?
100 shares.
I like that. There we go. That's when it 10x's. That'll be a nice.
Yeah.
Not financial advice.
It's funny though, because I had a price target of $76 for the stock to buy and didn't hit, and then it went up to $80, and I was like, if it hits, it hits. If it doesn't, whatever. If it goes up, I'm happy too, because I have like 60% in that company already. And then it went down. I'm like, oh, okay, it hit. I was like, no, it actually went down even further. It went under 75. So I was like, okay, cool. So good things happen to those who wait.
It was so nice. I logged on Discord for the day. I got home from school. I log on and I just see Evolution reported earnings, and I thought it was it the same day as High Tide too? It was a pretty eventful day because I remember High Tide was down 9%, and Evolution was down like 6 or 7.
Oof, you must have been feeling it, buddy.
Oh no, I was enjoying it because like it's weird. Like I actually own enough High Tide now where it makes like a, if it's down, I see it in the portfolio. It's not one of those micro positions anymore, so I'm happy I'm building it up. But like, it recovered the next day, so I was like, it's fine. This felt like a long week though. Like on Monday, the whole Nvidia thing happened. That feels like it was 2 years ago, and I just love trolling people because of it. Because
now China's coming for your AI, boys.
Yeah, like the reason that it was down might have been the stupidest thing ever. Was DeepSeek the only reason, or was there? They report
I think it was
too.
Mostly DeepSeek is that's big AI sell off because of DeepSeek.
That's a rough reason for a stock to trade down. We did have a potential quote of the year candidate too. We made a post on Twitter regarding Nvidia's financials, even with them being down, 15%. It's not much of a discount you're getting. Quote of the year potentially. The post was any Nvidia dip buyers here at 61 times price to free cash flow. Somebody responded, price to free cash flow in the calendar year 2025 is 30. Trailing valuation's the surest way to miss out on a good opportunity. Now the calendar year has been 1 month so far, so I don't know where he's exactly coming from there.
I don't know.
Fiscal, are you full porting Nvidia after this? Is it value territory for you?
Oh, you bet. You betcha. That's my style right there. Full port Nvidia.
Yep.
Right. It's already like $3 trillion. I mean, it should be 30 trillion. So it's going to 10x from here.
I think the Cash Flow King should do an inverse dividend portfolio, or like an ETF potentially. So we could have like Palantir in there. We could have
buy everything that he says not to.
Yeah. Or if you see like this is a ridiculous tweet, this is getting out of control. I think that's your.
And what do you do if if he's like, this is undervalued, do you like short it or something? Buy puts?
Look at Celsius.
Yeah.
That is not aged too well.
Yeah.
Let's see who's in the comments.
It's revenge. It's revenge for all the Walgreens comments.
Yeah, it's it's like the full circle moment.
Yep.
Let's see. I don't gamble. I buy Vici. I like that. Vici had a little nice week. What's that show where they barter their way from a bucket to a new Ferrari? Try a new version where you trade your way from penny stocks to Nvidia. That would be a fun.
Yeah. Those videos where like they try to trade up, like they start with some small thing, try to trade for something slightly better, and just keep doing that until they have something really
the Gary V garage sale videos. What you got to do here is you got to see the process in it, and once you find the process, you can do anything you put your fucking mind to. That's the Gary V impersonation. Dan, I'm hearing a lot of talk from you, but not a whole lot of action. I'm not some Dividend dude supporter, but I'm hearing a lot of things, and I'd like to see a video or two or a debate, even better. But the debate's probably not going to happen. We need to get Jay Nagy for an episode. I don't know who Jay Nagy is.
It's one of Strongman's friends.
Oh, okay. I recognize the name, but I just didn't.
Yeah.
We don't care if he's a dividend guy. We've had people who aren't dividend investors. I wouldn't consider Seymour Duncan a dividend investor. Although Evolution does pay. They did have an increase too this week.
Yeah, an increase to like 3.8%.
That's not bad. And they also did buybacks, right? Announced buyback program.
Yeah, they did 500 million euros.
Yeah, buddy.
Buybacks. I'm a buybacks guy.
I don't know. You aren't seeing buybacks with NVIDIA.
That's actually one of my theses for Evolution, is that even if growth stalls or they slow down, right? They're just going to do buybacks and dividends. And the buybacks are just going to increase EPS, and it's going to be fine as long as they can consistently keep those high margins. I'm all for that. It's going to be like the European version of AutoZone.
Mm. Did you catch up and watch the entire Evolution roundtable last week?
Yes, I did.
Was there anything you think that we missed that you would have liked to brought up?
Just a couple of things. First, I just wanted to explain why I invested in Evolution. I actually have family in the gambling business.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. so, and I feel like Evolution is like the next step in the family going into the gambling, where
Evolution is the next step. I like that.
He just got us to all invest in his family's company. He's secretly a Swede.
No.
Dad's the CEO.
So on my mom's side, I have gambling adjacent. On my mom's side, I have family who owns a really big restaurant in a big casino and a few nightclubs in Las Vegas.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Really?
Yes, but I've never been, because I don't like spending a lot of money, so I never been to Vegas, even though they've been asking me to. And then I have a cousin who's a pilot that keeps offering me free tickets to go to Vegas, and it's like,
oh my God.
I haven't gone. I've been, but one day
you're in front of you right now. You're not taking it. I think there have been rumblings when I turned 21 of a Vegas Cash Flow Kings meetup trip where Fiscal's all gonna buy us. Fiscal's gonna all buy us the strip club money. He's gonna give us all $100 in ones for whoever comes. He's publicly offered on the show too. But they have to be owned by Vici Property. So I don't know if they're in that segment yet. But continue.
And then on my dad's side, I'm related to a famous poker player. He's probably like in the top 10 list of like everyone's favorite poker player. And
that's going to lead to guesses because I used to be really into poker.
If you name him like the top 10 of your favorite poker players, he's probably in there.
Members only.
Interesting.
Yeah, he's so famous to the point where a casino in Canada kept offering me free hotel rooms and free slot play just so I can come in because they think I was like, oh, his relative, the famous poker player, will come and bet at our casino.
Yeah, I know the casinos do like to have those. All the pros that are on ESPN playing in the WSOP. Casinos love having those guys in playing their games because it draws crowds. Like
Yep.
it brings people in the door. Yeah.
And they gave me free tickets to shows. My favorite one was Penn and Teller.
Penn and Teller are awesome.
After I ripped a quick $40 profit after doubling down, hitting blackjack 2 times on 3 hands, the casino I was at in the Bahamas actually offered me a free stay and a free suite for the entire week, but I had to decline because CFK was the next weekend. So, yeah,
Unfortunate. Oh,
Yeah.
we're getting guesses in the comments now.
we are getting guesses.
I mean-
members only. Members only. Maybe if you join the after show, maybe he'll reveal it.
Negreanu is probably in a lot of people's top 10. I feel like Phil Locke isn't in everybody's top 10 though. I mean, he is married to Jennifer Tilly, but I just don't feel like Locke makes everybody's top 10. What do you guys think? Do you guys even know who these people are?
No, I know who Mickey
No
Mace is.
comment.
That's the only casino I know.
Is one of them the one? You don't have to tell us which one.
And then no comment there. Didn't sound too good. This is a great comment by Dex, and this is absolutely. This is what happens when you get a channel membership. Dex can go back and enjoy episode 32 whenever
what we
he
should
wants.
We should do at some point a professional poker player tier list with Seymour.
Okay.
His relative will probably be on there, but he has to promise not to be biased and put them in S
Yeah.
tier just because they're related.
Yeah, everybody in F and D tier, and there's the one relative in S tier. But continue, Seymour. We
Obviously the
apologize
best poker player in the world is Dan Bilzerian.
for this poker game is as legit as the lady friends he pulls.
Yep.
Continue though, Seymour.
Okay, so essentially, after that, I've always wanted to invest in the gambling business, but the land-based casinos, they don't have like good margins. Growth is not that strong comparative to like the online businesses. But I didn't realize the online casino was happening until COVID happened, and I was bored one day, wanted to play something, and I see Evolution at an online casino, and I was like, "What is this?" I see Monopoly game, and I see like a wheel, and I start. I'm like, "Okay, I'll just play one time," and I played, and I realized, okay, this is different, and I never thought about it in my head. I'm like, "Oh, I should be investing in this." And a few months later, I just Googled it. I'm like, "Can I invest in this company?" And I can, and then but then I was like, but it's one of those, it's a gambling company. So I've always like, was never long in the company. I was always buying it when it was under $100 USD. And then I kept, buying the dip, selling it, buying a dip, and made a good profit, like 50% right now on my position, just because I kept trading it. And then, it went down to 95, 90, 80, 70. And I was like, you know what? I kept buying it. Now I'm long. And, and that's why I wanted to play the games today in the only member stream, is to show you the quality games that these, the Evolution provides.
That is an amazing way to cover up that we all have a gambling addiction and we heavily want to gamble at the after hour show.
Here's the thing.
I'm serious. I'm looking forward.
Here's the thing, though. I'm an advocate for safe gambling, like legitimate gambling. There's sketchy gambling businesses out there, right? And even some of the competition that Evolution has, I sometimes feel like they're sketchy, and they promote big streamers and give them fake accounts.
Yeah.
And you can even see them on Kick, where they're like winning like $5-10 million, and then they just magically disappear out of their accounts. They're playing slots. I don't like that sketchiness. And one of the big things that I liked about Evolution that you guys missed was the transparency that Evolution provides. That's why they went public in the first place. They wanted the regulators, and they wanted businesses like MGM, Caesars, FanDuel to understand that Evolution is a legitimate business and there's nothing to hide. And that's actually one of the reasons why I started investing in them.
We have morals here in the Cash Flow Kings.
I wouldn't go that far.
I do I do I do have a good gambling story that we'll bring it out while we're on the topic, where I thought I was about to be tracked in a foreign country. So we were in the Bahamas. This was last year. During actually would have been a Saturday game Eastern. So this was one of the days that I wasn't here. And it was my first ever time like actually playing at the tables blackjack. So I'm like pissing myself. So since they call me Babyface Ryan in my hood, they of course like ID'd me last year a lot, not this year really for some reason, but last year they would ID me every time I got a table. It was just a pain in the ass. So I didn't really understand like what would happen when like the pit boss would take your ID and they go to the back with it. So guy comes up, asks for the ID, takes it to the back of the casino, and he just disappears for like 25 minutes. And I'm panicking because I'm afraid that this is like, since it's the Bahamas, it's kind of a sketchy country. A lot of shady stuff goes on. I'm terrified I'm about to be tracked, and like it was just absolutely nerve-wracking, and I hope nobody ever has to go through that. But I learned that it was a common practice, and they just took a little longer. Fiscal, you have any good gambling stories?
Well, all my, with the exception of like randomly playing slots a handful of times in brick and mortar casinos, most of my gambling stories, well, first of all, I don't necessarily consider poker to be gambling because there are professionals who consistently have positive profitability year after year. So,
Like
which
shoe shiner.
if it was purely gambling and no skill involved, then that wouldn't be the case. But let's see. Gosh, I got staked in one of the big Sunday tournaments they used to have on Poker Stars, and I believe I was like just very slightly in the money. So like you win back your buy-in plus some extra if you end up in the money. And so that's what everybody fights for at like tooth and nail in tournaments. And I think I ended up getting knocked out by Elke. He was a very well-known online pro at the time. And I think he even did some live tournaments and stuff. Like you would see him on like the World Poker Tour and stuff like that. So I got knocked out by a pro, like an actual really big pro once.
You're going to get your revenge. I'm confident you will.
Yeah. And then also somebody that I actually used to play regularly with on like Poker Stars and stuff. Like, you could chat in there. Yeah. And like we actually like met on Poker Stars and like became friends and started talking, but he lives in Australia. And he actually final tabled like a horse event at the Aussie Millions. Like it was later though, like after like we couldn't play on Poker Stars together anymore because they shut that whole thing down. So like that's another interesting thing. Like I saw his name, he is like 9th place or 8th place or something. So it wasn't like he won it, but like they list the final tablers, or at least they used to. And I saw his name on there. I was like, what? That's crazy.
Yeah, that's the CFK degeneracy roots are going pretty deep. We all Seymour, do you have any good gambling stories?
Yeah, but you probably won't believe it.
Oh no, this is
so
good.
The casino that always gave me the free stuff was actually next to this my school, which was a bad idea. Going to school right across the street from the casino. And a lot of the times, because it was in downtown, right? My school is downtown, the casino's downtown, and I was just like, it's a 30-minute drive just to get to there from where I lived, and I was like, there's no point. So sometimes I use the free hotel rooms, right? Mm-hmm. And it's like I go to school the next day from the hotel room, just walk. But I invited my friend over to play, and I had to go do a test for school. But then I was like, let's play some slots. So my friend was playing this Michael Jackson slot. I was trying to play it, and I got upset that I was like, I'm not winning. This is rigged. They're probably putting more money into it because it's Michael Jackson and the licensing and everything. So I go to the high limit. I'm like, let me play one slot, $10, right? I put it in there, won 30,000. I was like, I have a test to do. They gave me cash because they thought, oh, you're young. Here's cash. It's all in my bag for school. I'm going, okay, I got to go to the bank before I go to school to put $30,000 of 100 bills. I'm like, what is happening here?
Did you get like a security escort or anything?
No.
People
I
are
took a
too
picture,
friendly in Canada to be fair. I mean, nobody.
and we don't have to pay taxes for it either.
I was gonna say that was another question because I'm sure they winnings that's actually insane. That is
Yeah.
30 grand.
The one
What'd
thing
you
they
do with
don't
the money?
tax in Canada.
Yeah, the one thing, yeah. The only issue though is that I try to take a picture of my winnings. Like, you have to delete that. I'm like,
Yeah, I know. It's
I
probably
was
not
like panicking. I'm like, okay, please don't take it. They think I did something wrong with the machine. It's like,
yeah,
it's $30,000. I don't want anything. I heard horror
I know.
stories online that malfunction and everything. And if
I know those. Like, that'd be horrible.
yeah,
Was this in Niagara Falls by any chance?
I actually
No,
know.
okay.
I used to work with a guy that won like one of the 50,000 jackpots in one of the casinos out here. Now he had to pay taxes on it, so it wasn't quite as cool. And I don't think they gave it to him in cash. I think they probably cut him a check or something. But yeah, it's like, whoa, you actually won one of those things. And somebody wins them sometimes, right? Like, it's crazy.
Yeah. For sure, we all bought some on the dip on Thursday. I think Thursday.
And it's ridiculous why they dipped.
Yeah, I thought they were growing pretty solidly from what I saw.
So apparently it was because of the slight miss.
Oh, the revenue?
Yeah. And then the forecast for EBITDA margin might decrease from 70% to 67%.
Oh.
That's it.
Yeah.
And I find it funny because if Evolution is growing in the States, and they are, their margins are going to go a little bit lower because of the wages of employees. A lot of the states, you have to have your own studio and hire, within the state. And that just means that revenue is going to grow faster than EBITDA, meaning that the margins are going to decrease. It just doesn't mean that it's not going to grow. EBITDA is still going to grow. It's just going to shrink a little bit when revenue is just growing faster.
Yeah.
So I found that ridiculous. Plus, with the dividend increase and the buybacks, it's like
the buybacks. That's going to be like
that overtakes any of the negatives that was already said.
Yeah, they trade up too after those buybacks could look really good in a few years. Yeah, we love Evolution here on the Cash Flow Kings.
The buyback is the most exciting part.
I think we've gone 30 minutes without talking about high tide fiscal. I think some of the high tide investors are going to come out to kill us pretty soon if we don't get on it.
That's true.
Yeah.
So high tide had earnings as well this week, and that was exciting.
Yeah, it was exciting. I'm trying to convince my dad to buy some high tide, and I think that's
cool. My dad already did buy some high tide.
Yeah, this is the ripple effect of CFK. Everybody tell your family and friends about what stocks we're buying, and it's not financial advice, but still.
Nope. It's not financial advice, but if you like making money.
I remember vividly the last roundtable we had, which next roundtable is next Saturday, 8 p.m. Eastern. Be there. It's going to be stacked. But I remember Blake was just like talking about how it like always for some reason trades down after earnings, like for no reason either. So I was kind of anticipating it, and I was happy he added like $100 more worth of it, and go from there. But the free cash flow, it was like what, a 283% increase, something wild.
I think it was 217% or something like that year over year. Or something. Okay. It was definitely a big free cash flow increase. What it makes sense because they just had gone free cash flow positive, and usually the first handful of years you can really stack some gains on that. Yeah,
that's gonna be. And once again, we're going to talk about it next week. But like, if you're if you're on high tide, like be ready to eat some volatility and like underperform for a few years potentially, but like long term, we're looking pretty good right now. Earnings
And
are
by the
very
way,
solid.
with the drop in share price, they're only trading at about 12 times their free cash flow. Similar valuation now, I think, to Evolution, believe it or not, about 12 times free cash flow for both.
Yeah.
Why not buy
11
Nvidia at 61?
11.6. That's not bad. That's actually pretty good.
Yeah. It's
Compared
not
to
hard.
Tesla, 363.
It's not hard to make for a company to get to like give you a good return just returning capital to you at those prices.
Yeah.
Buybacks and dividends, they'll do the
I
trick
know.
when the stock's cheap enough.
Yeah, when Raj Grover comes on CFK, I'm gonna piss off so many people and to ask if they're gonna pay a dividend. If just ask a stupid question like because so many people I know that would like absolutely kill to talk to the guy that are like dead in the stock, deep in the stock. I'm just like me jokingly saying, would you guys ever pay a dividend like in the next couple of years? Because they could some point, but like now it's not looking likely.
No.
That would just piss off so many people.
Yeah, I don't think that when a company's at such early stages, only just starting to enter Germany, haven't even fully built out their presence in Canada. Like High Tide still has a lot of stores to open.
Did I see Australia too?
You heard Australia, yeah. It was actually mentioned on the conference call because they're seeing very high demand there for like the medical side because they just recently became interested in the medical side, and that's how they're proceeding in Germany right now.
So how familiar are you with the medical side? Because I get a little confused when it comes to that stuff.
So in some countries, on the medical side, it has to be like a specific type of specialty doctor that does the prescriptions, but in others, any MD can prescribe it. So it's really country by country with the medical side. And I think that's why they did it through an acquisition of a company that already has all the right licenses and stuff. And they're not like, obviously they're not really going like direct to consumer in that instance. They're, I think, more wholesaler in the medical side of things. So they're not like actually running any like physical dispensaries in Germany, to my understanding. They're going to be they're going to be the one like shipping the big bricks of the stuff and let somebody else like figure out the actual retail side of it, because it's like basically like almost like retail pharmacy. When you go to the dispensaries for the medical stuff, and it's like, who wants to be in the Walgreens of weed?
Walgreens of weed. Now that will I'll definitely press Blake on it next week, because you'd have to think they're getting tons of data too from this getting into Germany. So if they were to go retail in the future.
Well, that depends if recreational, because Germany at the moment,
it's not
recreational,
federal.
but like it's looking like it's going to go that direction.
Yeah.
And so if they already have the like supply chain figured out on how to get their product over there,
and they get the data and logistics and stuff.
Yeah.
Advantage.
Right.
Seymour, are you going to buy High Tide?
Unfortunately, no. And it's not because I don't like the company. I actually like the numbers a lot. It's just that I don't want to be in too many of the synth stock type of businesses, especially when I'm heavy in evolution.
That's fair.
Before I got crushed by back in Canada. We had a bubble for cannabis stocks, and
we did in the US too.
Yeah, and once it got legal, and unfortunately I got hurt, and then then COVID happened. I bought a few as well. I made a little money back trading it, but still, that feeling of buying it hurts still. But the numbers I see now are really good. I actually like their growth prospects. But it's just that I don't want to own too much of a sin stock. That's actually the only reason why I don't own it. I have a friend who kept buying like one share a day. like years back. He just kept buying one share. In Canada, we have a broker called Wealthsimple. It was like the only brokerage that was free commission in Canada, and because it's Canadian-based company, right? He's just like, I'm buying it. It's a penny stock, one share a day.
Look where he's at now.
Yeah.
I believe Seymour. Yes, Seymour is. I don't know. Fiscal. I don't think you're 10%, are you?
No, not anywhere near 10 yet.
So,
You're wealthy.
I'll explain what happened and why I'm 60%. So a couple of things during the yen carry trade, I went heavy in Japanese stocks, and then I trimmed those positions down. I had a small cap. That was my smallest position when it was the yen carry trade, and then became my largest position when I went heavy. It went from $10 to $18 in a matter of 1 week. And I was like, I can't have that as my number one position. So I trimmed that, and it's now like my fourth position. Put it all in Evolution because Evolution took a dump. And then I sold Disney because it's like I have Nintendo and Disney, and they're too similar with IP. And I was like, I'm a bigger fan of Nintendo. I understand the business more for Nintendo. So I sold all of Disney, put it in Evolution. And then, it just grew after that. So I was like, yep, okay, here we go. And then it keeps going down, even though the fundamentals keep getting better. So it's like, well, if I see any dip, I'll buy a few shares here and there. And it just kept growing.
Interesting.
It's a real man's investor right there.
Yeah, which is ridiculous that it keeps going down, yet fundamentals are great. Yet we have companies like Tesla with, price to free cash flow of like 300, over 300. And, but Robotaxi, right?
Yeah.
Optimus Prime, Robotaxi, Solar Roof. Woo!
Buy the rumor.
Yeah. No, that's Uber. I think I bought some Uber this week too. I hit like 66 and I bought a little bit, which is leading me to my next topic, and it's a little somber.
Oh, he was asking the average price.
Oh, yeah, average price.
$83. But like I said, I'm up 50% from trading it, which is why I don't really care that I own 60% so much, because I made profits from it in the past. And I was actually waiting to go long because I put a 20% margin of safety for myself when I put it in the DCF calculator. I was like, nah, let me put 20% discount before I buy. And then it went 30%. And I was like, okay, well then let's go buy.
There we go. Yeah, a bit of a somber. Actually, not that somber, because I ripped a fat profit on this one. But I sold some of my Starbucks again this week. It was up like 9 or 10% after earnings, which I predicted, by the way, which is another reason why you should all become channel members. Because if you're a channel member, you know that I give these call outs and I give them for free, and we're like 46-0 on all of our trades right now. You can't lose. It's only $2 a month. Just remember that. That's a joke. But we I put out as a joke, like their earnings are not going to be that impressive, but somehow the stock's going to go 10%. That's what happened. So I mean, I've resigned as the Starbucks cult leader this week. I sold out 6 shares in total, 3 a few weeks ago and 3 now. I'm going to continue trimming. I think it's going to continue trading up for the next few weeks, few months, potentially. There's a lot of hype around the CEO, and I could see them getting to 120 or 130. But right now, I mean, it's like 7 or 8% of the portfolio, which I'm fine with. And I'm just going to be patient, continue trimming. But I put that money into High Tide, SCHG, some Uber, and maybe Disney. So,
And
Fiscal's getting jumped, everybody. This isn't good.
No, I just realized it's getting dark, so
The Oracle has came. I have blocked the sun. I control everything. You cannot run.
I was just gonna say Disney has their earnings next week.
Yeah, that's a good chance you see. I would not be surprised if they. Honestly, either way, it could.
I actually think
irrational.
Oh yeah, the stock price. The sentiment on Disney is just wild. It goes down when they have great earnings. It goes up when they have great earnings. It doesn't know what to do.
We like it right now.
Yes. But yeah, the company's actually doing really good.
Yep.
Now their
And
movie catalog is like really solid for the next 2 years too. We took a look at it in the deep dive and like looks
yeah,
like could be
and
rough.
it's kind of funny though because a lot of people are saying that it's a dying business. I'm like, it made $4 billion in free cash flow last quarter. What do you mean a dying business?
Yeah, it's
That's more than Netflix, and
Dying.
that's $4 billion from a recovering business
Yeah.
from COVID. And
Right.
it's like, well, and I a lot of people on X, when I say anything positive about Disney, they come and attack me because apparently I'm on one political side.
you're woke. Yeah, you're woke, dude.
Oh,
We're a bunch of liberal commies on the cash flow kings.
we're DEI hires, guys.
Apparently, I have special access from Bob Iger. I don't know.
Yeah,
Even
we're
though I sold Disney for Nintendo, I still have special access.
the best is when you're called a pedophile for owning Disney. That's happened once for me.
You can't use that word.
We're 42 minutes in. You're a
You
redophile.
have, you have to say PDF file. That's
Yeah, that's a chip.
that's the monetization loophole.
Yeah, monetization. I'm joking. We'll blur that out.
Speaking of which, people when we were posting the Jay Powell shorts, that's what everybody was calling him, all the unhinged.
Oh yeah, those are great. Those are always a treat to put out. Just reading the comments. We get, yeah, let's talk a little bit about the or before we move on, Fiscal. What are your thoughts on the Starbucks quarter, if you saw any, and are you proud of me for selling?
I'm proud of you for selling. I didn't pay attention to the results, but unless they're suddenly growing at like a 10% CAGR again, you were good to sell.
Yeah, the same store sales still declined this quarter. So
yeah.
We'll talk a little. Yeah, we can talk about the tariffs if you want. So, they go into effect today. There's like a 10% tariff on Canada, and I just don't.
25% in Canada and Mexico, and 10% in China. So apparently, China is getting the special treatment compared to Canada for some reason.
Yeah, that's why China is pumping, obviously, because they're getting let off easy.
Yeah, I'd appreciate a bit of a dip. Oh, Microsoft was also on Dex. I love that. Microsoft was also on a little bit of a down week. Do either of you two would consider adding to Microsoft, and if so, what price? Fiscal, I already kind of know your answer. We might have a similar one because I have a price in mind.
So I'm not thinking about Microsoft at all right now.
Well said.
I'm actually not thinking of any American stocks at the moment. I actually sold all my American companies.
Wow.
Just because everything's so political now with the tariffs and everything, I don't know what's going to go and what's going to happen. It doesn't mean that the companies are, there's good companies out there in the US like Disney, right? That are growing or undervalued. It's just that the companies that I own right now, I like their growth prospects, or I find them undervalued, and I just want to keep investing in them, right?
Yeah.
I have Nintendo, Evolution, Brookfield.
Brookfield's the dividend investor put us on that one like a year and a half ago.
Yeah, the first time we talked, you mentioned if I owned any Canadian stocks, and now I own 3 of them.
Yeah,
I changed my portfolio drastically. Remove all the American stocks.
Well, this would really suck for you if Canada becomes the 51st state like Trump says it's going to be. We're buying Canada. This is completely. Everybody's trying to get me to do the Trump impersonation right now.
You guys don't think Canada's going to be the 51st state, or?
I think it's going to be. You have Seymour Duck, and he's so sad he sold all of his American stocks. He's going to lose so much money because of it. What a sad person. He thinks he's a duck, and he's buying bad stocks now. They're not American stocks. They're going to like Forex probably. I've been considering. I didn't realize that Microsoft's capex was like getting a little. It's friggin' insane now.
80 billion on.
I'll pull it
AI.
up on Finchat. It's wild. I'm all for AI and all, but I'd like a good traditional tech company with the cloud.
That's why I've got TSSI, buddy. because Microsoft's got to spend that money on something.
So TSSI is they're getting the AI money from Microsoft.
Well, so it's my understanding is that they're getting it from Dell, but yeah.
Capital expenditure, Microsoft. Once again, Finchat link in description. Holy, yep, they're spending a lot on it right now.
Yeah. If but my thinking is if we know large cap tech are going to be spending a bunch of money on AI related capex, we could either take that bet with large cap tech or buy the people that they're paying that money to and see it reflected in their financials as revenue instead of capex and enjoy those gains that way. That's just my logic, I guess. That's how my brain works.
All right, we'll give the 5-minute warning. Once again, we are doing a members only gambling session with fake money.
Also, I agree that Amazon is good. It's my biggest
Amazon's.
holding.
SHGS, yeah. I might just index that.
Is it wrong that I want to crash
That you
in
want
the stock market?
Oh,
you're
no, it's that we want Camaro to go bankrupt.
If you're heavy in cash, a crash is great. Like if you're Warren Betty right now,
Warren Betty.
Warren Betty.
What do you consider heavy in cash?
Probably like 30-40% plus.
No fun. That's
Yeah.
how you lose out on gains.
I would consider that
10%.
heavy cash though. Yeah.
What's your cash position right now, Fiscal?
The last of it went to Evolution.
Yeah.
I put some on mine too as well. I have like 31 or 3,200 right now. So
This is a good question. What percent allocation is BTI? So for me, a little over 10% for me right now.
For me, it is 1.3%.
0 for me, but I've been tempted.
Ooh.
Especially because I think I mentioned it last time. Well, the first time I came here, that I don't get taxed on their dividends in Canada, so that's why I like it.
Oh, that
Okay, that makes sense. The sins. I was gonna bring up the sin stock thing, but that kind of offsets it.
Oh, well, that reminded me. I remember one thing about Evolution, about how over the counter it is, and it's hard to buy. It is an ADR in the U.S. over the counter, but there is these F shares.
I had to
that
pay
you
a
can buy.
commission on it, Seymour. Like I rarely ever have to do that, but
I know it's
with
that's why I
OTC,
gotta buy it. That's why I bought like $3 to $100 worth, because I don't want to consistently be buying one share and paying $8 for commission.
$8 is not bad. But they're compared to it used to be like $50 a commission back in the day.
Well, I mean, on a $75 trade, $8 is a solid amount. But I mean, like if I did like 250,
but that's why I bought basically what I felt should be my whole allocation. Just it's like I'm not gonna buy half here and half there because then I'm giving up. It's I don't know if it's like $6-7 or whatever, which it isn't a lot, but it's like why give up that commission when it's already kind of taken a big dip after earnings? Like this is a great entry point. Just put the whole thing in.
Yeah.
Yep. That's what she said.
We'll absolutely read that comment. I know it's utterly retarded, but I'm tempted to buy some yield max to help feed other accounts.
No. I think with yield max, it's going to depend what you pick and how it trades over the time that you hold it. Like you're basically you're sort of betting that it's possible to be profitable on options and the stock is going to somewhat appreciate over whatever period of time you hold it. And if that happens, you probably make money. But if you like options, you should probably just try to learn them yourself, because the fee that they charge for managing yield max is about 1%, and that's like old school, like boomer mutual fund level of pillaging you. And I just think like nowadays with most ETFs being like less than 0.1% or whatever it is, you're leaving a lot on the table by paying them that 1%. That's just some thoughts to consider before you take a plunge and try doing that.
That's extremely well said, and a lot better temper than I would have.
Yeah.
No, but if that thing goes down, Kamir's gonna get cooked, dude. I'm so.
I have a friend. I don't know why he's doing this, but he has yield max in his retirement account, so that
no taxes, bro.
So that he can take out little by little, and he only get taxed in Canada, right? Taxed like 5% instead of getting 10 or 15%. So he's taking it little by little. The dividends that he's getting from it, I'm just like shaking my head. I'm like, no.
Yeah. I would. Who would like to see Jay Pestrochelli on the Cash Flow Kings? I think that would just be an interesting conversation.
Dan has just made a really great point.
Robotically buys options constantly via nuance. Listen to Fiscal, or they're stealing the
big takeaway
from you. The fee. Yeah. All right.
Because I think a lot of the options, like the covered call funds and stuff, like they just have like a set method that they use, and it's the same every time, and there's not really any real thinking or anything going on, no strategizing, and they're just like, we're gonna sell this many strikes out of the money, or we're gonna sell at the money. Like they just have a set strategy, the weeklies, at the money, or whatever it is.
Yeah.
And that's just what they keep doing over and over. And it only really works if the stock trades exactly the way it needs to for that to be a profitable trade. And it won't forever. I know Kamara probably thinks it will with his micro strategy, Misty.
Yeah, it's not the only micro he has.
But yeah, I still think, even though he's Forrest Gumped his way probably into some profits at this point, that there's a good chance that it's going to implode sooner or later.
Be a shame if it did.
Yeah.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are 54 minutes in on the Shortened Cash Flow Kings episode tonight. But of course, the fun is not over just yet, everybody. It's technically 8 p.m. Saturday, 8 p.m. Eastern, and that means that it's gaming time. So we're going to be playing some blackjack, some other games on a members-only stream. I posted the link in the comments section. Members, we're going to be going live momentarily. For those who are not channel members, become one now. Give us your money. We take your soul. You get your free stock picks. I don't know, dude. It's a good value. When you say Seymour?
Yes.
Well said. All right. Thank you. Seymour, also promote anything for those who are not going to be on the show. Where can the people find you?
Oh, you could just find me on X at Mr. Seymour Duck.
There we go.
Well said.
All right. Thank you all for watching. Smash the like button, subscribe. Do Dividend Stocks at Drugs. We will see you next week for the High Tide Roundtable, 8 p.m. Eastern. Stacked guests. You'll want to be there. And of course, cash flow is